It is my great honor and privilege to invite a great friend of India to speak with us this morning, President Hamid Karzai. You have spoken, President, about the dualism in American policy vis-a-vis Pakistan. I think you once said it's like asking us to find the thief, but leaving the house open for the thief to get in. Basically, your argument, correct me if I'm wrong, has been that while the Americans made all the right noises about terror havens in Pakistan, because of the utilitarian relationship with Islamabad, they didn't do much about it.
This is a Persian proverb, allowing the thief to steal and asking the owner of the house to be watchful. But there is an English one as well, running with the hare and hunting with the hound. That's what I believe they did, and that's what they should not be doing.
And did you raise that with the Americans?
Oh, yes, I've told President Obama exactly this proverb.
And what did he say?
In one of our video conferences.
What did he say?
Silence.
Silence? He said nothing at all?
I don't think so. I guess we went to other subjects.
Talk a little bit about India now. Mm-hmm. You met with Prime Minister Modi yesterday. Did you take away a sense that India is prepared to be more involved, even more involved in Afghanistan than it has been?
India and Afghanistan have thousands of years of history together. It's basically the same civilization, the same cultural entity. This has been a very satisfactory relationship, a relationship that we cherish and value, and a relationship that the Afghan people will take further into depths.
But let me play devil's advocate here, President Karzai. Do you believe India has missed its opportunity to have a leadership role in the region, in particular in Afghanistan? Do you believe India should have been quicker with providing military aid and assistance? There have even been suggestions, never accepted by any Indian government, to have put Indian boots on the ground.
No, we don't need Indian boots on the ground in Afghanistan. As a matter of fact, we don't need any boots from outside on Afghanistan. I hope NATO and the United States will soon also be leaving Afghanistan.
Did the Americans resist military aid from India? Did they want to control the area of influence? Did they not want Pakistan to get upset? Was that one of the reasons you believe that the issue of military cooperation between Afghanistan and India could not proceed at the pace that you would have liked it to?
Well, this has been taking the issue into broader relations. And when you go to a broader relationship where world powers are involved and interests are involved, definitely there will be a lot of overlapping and preventive blocks of impediments. That did happen, but we could have done past it, and I'm sure we will do past it as we move forward.
So the Americans did resist?
I answered you.
You didn't say yes.
Well, look, I'm a former president, and today I have a lot more freedom of expression to speak than I ever had before during my presidency. But I still am not so free to do everything or say everything that I want to say.
Well, we've read between the lines, so that was an indication enough.
Thank you.
What I'm trying to trigger here, to ignite the sense of responsibility towards children to make our India a great India, a leader of the world. And I see all the potential in my country. I always say that India is the land of 100 problems, but it is the mother of 1 billion solutions. We are using the strength of Nobel Peace Prize, you can say, globally, but also in India. This child labor amendment law is pending in the parliament for quite some time. It's almost 2 years. And I have made an earnest appeal to all parliament members recently that being the first Desi Indian to get the Nobel Peace Prize, it is not just the moral responsibility comes on my shoulders, on my head. I say that this is the Nobel Prize for every Indian who believe in the betterment of my nation, my country, my children. So it's the moral responsibility of the parliament and the parliament members to pass this bill, this law, which prohibits all forms of child labor up to the age of 14 and all worst forms of child labor, hazardous forms of child labor up to the age of 18, ensure rehabilitation, economic and educational rehabilitation of all these children.
But you know, when you hear some of the targets that are being spoken about, some people wonder how realistic they are. Like, for example, the target that's been speculated about, that it's going to be 30 kilometers a day of construction. How feasible is that, and when do you think you're going to get around to that?
Already work has been started, and whatever the record is with me, you take it me, return it, and ask me after 2 years if I have not succeeded. I am 100% sure that present average is 3 kilometers. Within 2 years, we will go 30 kilometers per day.
So I'm getting that on record from you.
100%.
I'm going to call you back here 2 years from
Not
now.
at all.
2 years from now,
And
30
I have got the
kilometers a day.
credibility, at least. As a journalist, whatever the thing which I declare in my department, probably it's a good thing for me that no one can ask me the question about it. And I'm very much confident. I'm talking with my all studies, all decision what already I have taken. On that basis, I'm giving you the confidence that this is the target for me and I will complete it.
Our taxation policy, and if I have so far avoided a blame game with any of my predecessors or previous governments. But if one area where we need to seriously introspect from their experiences is that the basic taxation principle is that those who are supposed to pay taxes must pay taxes. And where taxes are not payable, unsustainable demands won't get you taxes. Unsustainable demands in the books can show you in good glory, but eventually those taxes will be blocked in some judicial court proceeding. You won't recover a rupee, but end up having a bad name because investors will then say it's better to look elsewhere because the Indian system is not investor friendly. And if there was one defining moment which turned the global odds against India, it was this tendency to raise unsustainable demands where demands were not due. Those who drafted it and those who blessed the land law have now to learn that such obsolete thinking can take India backwards but can't win you an election. It's regrettable, but a part of the new definition of reforms is to undo a lot of what your predecessors have done. And that's what I'm having to do today. And therefore, we have now to put our heads together. I'm already in touch with the principal opposition party, and I hope they'll learn from that historical mistake. I have no difficulty with paying higher compensations to farmers. My proposal for the goods and services tax is almost ready, and I do hope I am able to introduce it in this session of Parliament. The Expenditure Management Commission has had a recent meeting with me, and they are coming out with a set of suggestions, I hope very soon, on how to rationalize subsidies. It just required us one ordinance, which I hope becomes a law in this session. The state sector companies get it first. The actual users will have to buy it by an auction. And thereafter, there'll be commercial mining. It's a landmark reform. And I think if there is one net advantage that this country has got out of the coal block controversy, it is that it probably may lead us to a long-lasting solution for the future. And the stream of international visitors that I'm getting almost keep me busy till midnight. They want to come here and start investing here. Their capital is going to cost much less. And therefore, there is a huge renewed interest in India.
I was so determined, I had this fire in the belly. And I always, like I said, dreamt big. In bodybuilding, when I got into bodybuilding, it was not just to become a bodybuilding champion, but I wanted to be the greatest bodybuilder of all times. And then when I got into movies, it was not that I was interested to be in movies or just to be a star in a movie. I wanted to be the leading man, and I wanted to be up there in the 70s where Clint Eastwood was and where Charles Bronson was and Marlon Brando was. They all received $1 million, and I wanted to be up there on that ladder. I said to myself, the ladder is pretty empty. I should be getting up there pretty quickly. And the same thing was also in politics. I mean, I had no interest in running for mayor or for city council or for state senate or anything like that. The biggest position that was available for me in America was governor. I couldn't run for president because the Constitution of the United States makes it very clear that anyone that is born outside of the country, outside of the United States, cannot run for president. So the next biggest position really is governor. Governor of the greatest state in the United States, which is California, as you've heard earlier, is the 8th largest economy in the world. So I always shoot for the top because I always feel like if you have a great vision and you think big, then you're also going to end up big.
Devendraji, you've enjoyed as opposition leader and even as you become chief minister, a clean reputation. You were outspoken on the irrigation scam. You were outspoken in criticizing Ajit Pawar, who was then deputy chief minister, for his role in the irrigation scam. Do you accept that your credibility has been enormously hurt by accepting outside support from Sharad Pawar's party, whom your prime minister called the nationally corrupt party?
देखिए, एनसीपी ने स्वयं अपना सपोर्ट जाहिर किया. यूनिलैटरली उन्होंने सपोर्ट घोषित किया और उस समय हम ये मान रहे थे कि हमको आवश्यकता नहीं पड़ेगी. ऑल्दो हमने ये बात भी सच है कि हमने मना नहीं किया, हमने हाँ भी नहीं कहा और ना भी नहीं कहा. बट दैट टाइम हमको ये लगा नहीं, हम लोग उस समय ये सोच रहे थे कि शिवसेना के साथ हमारी बातचीत तो हमेशा ऐसे आखिरी समय तक चलती है और फाइनली हो जाती है. सो हम तो वही सोच रहे थे, पर अनफॉर्चुनेटली नहीं हो पाई. हाँ, ये बात ज़रूर है कि ये मैंने बात माननी चाहिए कि जितनी क्रिटिसिज्म मैंने मेरे 22 साल के पॉलिटिकल करियर में सहन नहीं की, उतनी विश्वास मत के बाद 3 दिनों में मैंने सहन की है.
तो आपको थोड़ा तो डिस्कम्फर्ट लगा होगा
थोड़ा
उस criticism का?
थोड़ा डिस्कम्फर्ट जरूर लगा. पर देखिए, मैं तो ये मानता हूँ कि मेरे सामने 2 अल्टरनेटिव थे. एक अल्टरनेटिव ये था कि मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल बन जाऊं और अपनी जिम्मेदारी से भाग जाऊं, और दूसरा अल्टरनेटिव ये था कि जो परिस्थिति है उस परिस्थिति में मैं डटा रहूं एंड लेट पीपल नो दैट माय एक्शंस स्पीक लाउडर देन माय वर्ड्स.
पर आपने एक बात तो अरविंद केजरीवाल जैसे की, उनके भागने से पहले उन्होंने ना 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 करके कांग्रेस का आउटसाइड सपोर्ट लिया. आपने ना 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 करके शरद पवार का आउटसाइड सपोर्ट लिया.
कुछ चीजें तो करनी पड़ती है ना.
माय क्वेश्चन इज, क्या आप दाऊद का हॉट परसूट करेंगे?
मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा कि हरिंदर जी समय दीजिए और प्रतीक्षा करिए.
मतलब आप काफी नजदीक हैं?
भयभीत का सवाल नहीं, समय दीजिए. क्या करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे, क्योंकि स्ट्रेटजी कभी पब्लिक नहीं की जाती है. यह भी सावधानी बरतने की जरूरत होती है.
चलिए, इतने लोग बैठे हैं, सब दाऊद में इंटरेस्टेड है. इतना बता दीजिए कि आप कितना समय मांग रहे हैं.
नहीं, मैं उसे टाइम बाउंड भी नहीं करना चाहूंगा, लेकिन हमारी तरफ से पूरा प्रयत्न होगा कि पाकिस्तान जल्दी से जल्दी दाऊद को हैंडओवर करे.
और इसके लिए आप लगातार प्रेशर डाल रहे हैं?
मैंने किया है, परसू करने की कोशिश की है और आगे भी परसू करेंगे, प्रेशर बिल्डअप करेंगे, जो कुछ भी हो सकता है। डिप्लोमेटिक प्रेशर की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, इसको मैं क्लैरिफाई करना चाहता हूँ। डिप्लोमेटिक प्रेशर मैं बिल्डअप करने की कोशिश करूंगा।
Because Pakistan has also been using terrorism as an instrument of its state policy. And they think that in this asymmetric warfare, they would be able, at a very nominal cost, sustain it for an indefinite period because India's tolerance threshold, because of their nuclear capability, will go to a point where probably their conventional superiority will not be very meaningful. If Pakistan was not overshadowed by the army or the intelligence apparatus of that country, probably the leaders would see a much greater reason that, well, carrying on terrorism is not the next best policy for them. They would have given it up as an instrument of a state policy because it bleeds the country with him.
So we're in a time today when the cinema business, the film business, and the film art is about to change very dramatically once again. I think in 3 years from now, what we consider, what we're comfortable about, both in the companies doing it, as well as the actual products, will be very different. First of all, there already is no longer a distinction between television and movies. In other words, we used to think, oh, you go to a theater, those are movies, and if you see it on a screen at home, that's television. But in fact, both of those things are made the same way. The theaters very quickly around the world are all electronic theaters. The projectors in those theaters are electronic, and no longer are there actual film cans that are delivered to the theater. They go today in a coded cassette, and very soon they'll be done by satellite. So, there are many, many changes that will bring about, and I believe that the companies that make films in 3 years, just as this sameness of television and movie theaters, you'll be seeing what you might think are television shows in theaters. In fact, the audience will be the master of the situation. The audience will be able to see what they want, when they want, where they want.
And it's a rapid fire section of this.
Yeah. It better be like the ones he gives us when we go on his show.
So,
you're not allowed to do that.
Deepika, Kareena, Katrina. Which is the tops? Second.
And you can't be politically correct. Sir, is your buzzer ready?
First का तो answer देने दे.
Buzzer मेरे पास है.
ये बड़ा enjoy कर रहे हैं मेरे left और right पे.
The three Khans. Which is the best according to you? Quickly.
इसका तो अभी जवाब तुम्हें देना ही पड़ेगा.
ये buzzer है अभी इधर. Buzzer is on its way.
I had times up written right in front of me, ladies and gentlemen.
We've just extended it. I've spoken to Shobna ma'am.
We have 15 minutes more.
No, how? It just says time's up.
But time up हो गया, but तो answer कर लेंगे. We'll wait for you. No hurry.
No, don't where I think between the three Khans, I always say you don't choose between legends. And vis-a-vis Deepika, Katrina and Kareena, you always say who's on right is always right. So let's just go, we'll just say Deepika.